Ladies and gentlemen, hold on your britches. It's time for the FinTips Podcast.
All right, so show it to me. What do you got?
Yeah, and so people are always asking the question, pre-tax 401k, Roth 401k. So I say, you know what? I'm going to model this out. Now, I could show you 100 different models. Let's take a look at one right this second.
I'm curious to see where you're going with this.
So 41-year-old guy, he's gotten a little bit of savings, but not a ton set aside right this second. What we have to look at over the limit, because they're over the Roth IRA limit on income, single filer here.
I think that's important because we're basically pushing that to the side because we have to for the moment, and that's why we're only focusing on this. So perfect.
And so expenses ultra low. The reason expenses are ultra low is what I want to model here is somebody who's like, hey, I've got these base expenses, but their money's kind of going everywhere.
Okay.
And so they've got some flexibility here. They're going to save strictly to the Roth 401k in this example. They've got tons of unsaved cash flows that are just being spent.
Can I just so you guys know what you're looking at there?
Yeah.
As you work your way to the right, the planned savings is what he's going to talk about. Then you've got total outflows. See the second to last column there that says spend unsaved cash flows. That's where we're not giving you credit for that. So the expenses are $30,000 in 2025, and we're just assuming that the 77 it'll go somewhere, but it's not going to go towards any of these goals. So important to know because I get that question a lot. People go, "How do you end up at zero? Like exactly zero?"
Right.
We're essentially debiting the surplus.
Yeah, that's solid. So if one thing I really want to note here, tax payment, $44,790. People are like, oh man, that kind of tax payment. I need to put this in a pre-tax account because I need to save on taxes.
Yep.
Now, so let's look at this scenario though. And if we go to the next slide, and basically if you say, okay, I always argue with people. I say, if you are going to save in a pre-tax account and you have a ton of unsaved cash flows, then save your tax savings.
Yep,
you have to.
Yeah.
And so in this scenario, it's about $5,520 difference that first year. So I said, okay, he's going to max out his 401k pre-tax, take the $5,520 in savings. So you look at the planned savings is now $28,520 because what he's going to do there is he is going to put a backdoor Roth in place. The backdoor Roth, again, over the limit. And so he can't do a regular Roth IRA, going to do the backdoor Roth there. And so again, still you have really the same unsaved cash flows in a sense on the way this all breaks out on everything they're doing.
And that's why I point out the planned savings there because now you can see the added money there for the difference, what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And so then if we take a look at the tax estimate, pre-tax, just what we were looking at there, this is what he would retire in essentially at age 62. You see a big drop in, as far as the tax rate goes, because ultimately, you're living on less. He's living on $60,000 a year in retirement. Now that's today's dollars. That will be adjusted for inflation in the plan, but that's what we're looking at there. Living till age 90. So there's so many factors that come into play here. This is, again, one scenario for the people that in the comments that are like, oh, I'm going to tear this guy up.
Yeah.
And so if we go to the next slide, Roth 401k only, check that out. And basically, one complaint I have, no matter who it is they hate paying taxes. Well, you hate paying taxes on the front side or the back side? Which one do you want here? Because you're gonna get slapped one way or the other.
Yeah,
and so
just which one do you end up with more dollars? If we have to pay a tax to some degree, most of us have to pay tax, then we want the one where we pay the least amount of tax. That's all we're looking at here is just the strategy of which one has more dollars for me and less for the government because I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. And so if we do the drum roll and we go to the next slide, it basically will break this down completely. And this plan blew me away because it actually shows the proposed plan is actually showing him putting the money in pre-tax accounts, maxing out the pre-tax account, and then doing the backdoor Roth. He is essentially saving over $100,000 more until retirement by doing that backdoor Roth IRA, but still coming out at the end of life with less money and less probability of success versus if he just did the 401k or the Roth 401k.
Now, okay, that messes with me a little bit because the spread between what his current his retirement expenses are and his income, I would have said was enough to go, oh, pre-tax now because you'll surely pay less tax in the future. This would have proven me wrong, right? This is why we mock this stuff up because it's just, what is it? Look, it's a $300,000 difference.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to take that. Now, granted, that's over the whole life. That's not in 1 year, but yeah, I'll take it.
Here's the crazy thing, though. So I did this whole thing. I had it all prepped, ready to go for this video. And I didn't do a slide for this, but stay with me here, because if you're watching and you're like, okay, so my total thing is I should do the Roth 401k. That's the answer. That's the end all. I talked to a guy yesterday, went through an entire financial plan with him. And a lot of this scenario, though in his scenario, all of his expenses are accounting for all of his unsaved cash flows. His savings he literally budgets almost every single dollar, great at what he does with it. And it's broken down to the point of he doesn't have much left over. He saves or spends that money.
Okay.
And in his scenario, he is married, filing jointly. And with everything that he is doing, if he were to go the Roth route, he wouldn't be able to save as much. And in his scenario, it made more sense for him to do the pre-tax, keep the savings he has, and then in his retirement years, because his retirement is actually going to be really low in income, he's actually going to need a lot less. Remember, we're looking at a single filer in this scenario.
Okay.
We're looking at a married filing jointly in the other. His tax bracket's going to be like 12%. He can actually do conversions at 12%, and that would give him $400,000 more at the end of that guy's plan. So literally flipping this on its head and saying, oh, I just taught you something, but I didn't, because it will depend. And that is why these stupid rules of thumb sometimes with this stuff are really dangerous.
Yeah, but keep in mind, it's designed to get you to ask a question. Like, what's my savings rate? Oh, it should be double digits. And okay, well, great. Now I'm asking the question for me. What should it be?
Yeah.
And the part I wanted to kind of interject here is, this is like your 1 minute takeaway thing, right? Yep. So in the proposed plan, he has to save more, right? More dollars have to go away, and he ends up with less total dollars. In what we first started talking about, Eric was pointing out the Roth 401k, that's less dollars saved and more total dollars in return. To me, that's huge, because now you've got essentially the extra spending money to, other goals, to do whatever you're going to do there. So It's not always about putting more money away. It kills me when I see advisors go, well, just save more. And I'm like, no, you do your job.
Yeah.
Figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Find the best strategy for you.
Love it. And if you want, someone to find the best strategy, we do some marketing here, right? Like this is what we do. This is what we love talking about. And we'll apparently tell you a great joke.
Really good joke. What do you call a person that cleans out a vacuum cleaner?
Suck something? Am I going?
A vacuum cleaner.
Oh, the vacuum cleaner. Yeah.
That was good.
Hold on. I wasn't ready. I'm going to go dad joke because it's the first thing to pop into my head.
Let's go.
I dated a tennis player one time. I don't know if you knew that. I dated a tennis player. Love meant nothing to her.
Yeah. Okay. I had to think. I was trying to remember the tennis thing. Oh.
Well, to be fair, there was a joke that I was thinking of that hit me as I was thinking, but
good. Avoid that one.
I'm helping you, right?
Thank you.
Just,
I appreciate that.
I take people from here to the gutter, and then we go bring it back so we're all happy. You know what I mean?
Right. That's
like a good comedian. Bring it all back so we know it's good.
Bring it all back.
All right.